Welcome to the show. My name is Charlton with Big C. This is Charlton at Big C Sports coming to you worldwide on the Big C Sports Network, the number one network in the United States of America. And Big C Sports has been voted the number one sports show in the universe, according to Big C and them good old boys down south. We want to say bienvenidos to all of our listeners in Latin America, also across the pond in London, England, as well as Paris, France. Want to give a shout out to the Big C tribe in Africa for chiming in. Thank you, Big C tribe, from across the pond as well. Big C, you know we love Canada, but there's still no one we love more than you good old boys down south in the land of the free and the home of the brave. Big C, how's it going for all of you good old boys down south?
We got everything. We got hockey. We got basketball. We got baseball.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, you think about it, basketball is here, Charlton.
Yeah.
Baseball is just getting in the throes of the playoffs, haven't even gotten to the World Series. And I think we just stopped talking about basketball about a month ago.
Yeah.
When we had all the rules and these teams being put together and
Yeah.
player movement and stuff.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden the season is kicking off. We went from talking about trades, we missed the preseason, and now we got the opening season starting tonight.
Well, Big C, that's a very good point. Today is a beautiful October the 17th, 2017, in the land of the free and the home of the brave. And I love so much about what we do with Big C Sports. I love the fact that they always said, if a dog won't wag his own tail, Big C, who's going to wag that tail for that dog? And nobody will. But I'm so appreciative of the fact that when you and I started and talked about doing our own thing, there was a lot of jealousy about some people that we worked around. But, you know, taking your advice, let's just do our own thing, and always having the confidence that what you're doing is fine enough, that you're going in the right direction. Now it seems like every sports program I listen to, they're kind of doing a spinoff of the Big C Sports Show. It's not just, hey, the Giants beat the Yankees 7-5. It was the Red Sox 5-3 over the Orioles. Next, we'll come back with what's happening in the NBA. A lot of garbage sports talk is out there. We don't want to be that. Never wanted to be that. I just want to get your thoughts on what it means to you. Why is it so important to you to be real? And that's why you came up with the term real sports talk, Big C. Your thoughts?
Well, the part about challenging what people want you to say, you know, has always been my mainstay, and ever since I started broadcasting years ago, Charlton.
Yeah.
Is that people were, you know, offended by you being real.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, you know, you got to stay with the script. You know, life is not a script. Sports is not a script, Charlton.
Yep.
And these things that happen outside the venues are definitely not a script. So if you want to be honest and include the fan in every aspect of the game, you know, inside and outside these arenas.
Yeah.
And so you have to tell about what's really going on, what's occurring. And so that's the part about being real, is that you just can't say a score. Even when you talk about a score, you have to understand what made this score happen.
Yeah.
And why some teams are lacking in an aptitude of performance versus others, Charlton.
Yeah. That's,
you know, the game of athletics is about getting a paycheck
Yeah.
at a professional level.
yeah.
But you also have to have some pride in getting that paycheck and just not wanting to be a thief.
Yeah, that's a very good point, Big C. I do want to say today's segment is sponsored by your Northern California Cadillac dealers, home of the all-new Cadillac Escalade, the standard of the world. And when you go by and test drive yours, tell them Charlton and Big C sent you. Big C, I'm broadcasting from one of the most renowned golf courses here in Northern California, and airplanes flying overhead. A lot of these airplanes are flying retardant out to the Napa area, the Bay Area, to help put out some of those fires. They actually, a lot of them come out of Sacramento and Northern California. So all the Air Force that's involved in the military that's involved, that's helping to fight these fires, they fly over golf courses, and they're just doing everything they can to help people get back on their feet. So I do want to say again, our thoughts and prayers go out to all the people that are affected by this. But Big C, as I open the show, and I'd be remiss if I didn't say this. Here I'm at this golf course, Big C, and you'd be surprised at what I see crossing the streets. They have all these signs where people can cross the streets, Big C. I see about 50 turkeys, Big C. They're trying to cross the street, and they're in the crossing walk, Big C. I just think that's funny. Your thoughts? Yeah. Yeah.
So they're probably thinking they're dressing up as turkeys to avoid
Yeah.
It's amazing what these animal crossings have done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Their own crossing where you have streets where humans don't have. Animals have them.
That's so funny. funny. You have the car dealerships around here, and then you have these turkeys. They're just all over the golf course. I think that's incredible. I'm sure a couple of good old boys are going to try to sneak some of them home for dinner. But the thing is, again, opening the show, so appreciative of what we bring to the world of sports on the number one network in the United States of America. And I say that because we talked about this thing with the Kaepernick, and we'll get into a few other things too. But sometimes you got to man up. In life, you got to man up, and you got to do what helps other people. And the fact that I hear that this stance that Captain Kalanick has taken on has never been against the military. Finally, I want to congratulate Roger Goodell for not being a dumb sycophant person like a lot of the good old boys that they try to appease to a Big C. They're trying to draft a letter for Congress. I think that's where they make laws, if my understanding is right, Big C. What has it taken from Kaepernick to be real, to do something that's going to fit people long after we're all gone? Goodell finally got off the high horse. They're trying to draft a letter to Congress for criminal justice reform. Hopefully Donald Trump won't try to veto it. Big C, your thoughts?
Well, this is something he did along with the Seattle Seahawks wide receiver Doug Baldwin, Charlton, with the commissioner, and I'm very proud of his actions. He took the forefront, the high ground. Not saying that I'm going to withstand all this pressure from Donald Trump to come out and blaspheme in my league, because the NFL will be around long after Donald Trump is gone.
Oh, yeah.
Spilling all his rhetoric.
Oh, yeah.
They've been around close to 100 years, Charlton.
Yep.
And they'll be around as long as any sports league ever.
Yeah.
Because of the amount of power that they have. Money is power. He's going to have the NFL within the next 5 years, Charlton, generating $25 billion in their next revenue pack.
Yeah.
So you're concerned about what Donald Trump says in some bold speech that he makes in some Alabama backneck, convention center, Charlton?
No.
He's not whatsoever. But by them drafting this letter, he and Doug Baldwin, the wide receiver of the Seattle Seahawks, for justice reform in America. This is what Colin Kaepernick's stance was about.
Amen.
Everybody keeps thinking about this. Everybody keeps about the military, disrespecting the military, and then disrespecting the flag. It was never about that, Charles.
No.
When you take a knee, you're honoring the military and you're honoring the flag, because you're paying the ultimate respect to those by bowing down.
Yeah.
Putting yourself beneath them, Charles. That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
Donald Trump and the rest of the yahoos in this country that don't understand or appreciate them. They want to deflect. And I'll even put it in another context with Donald Trump today, Charles.
Yeah.
Donald Trump came out today. Now, you think about this has been the most devastating month in natural disaster in U.S. history.
Yeah.
Okay, the most devastating 6 weeks in American history when we talk about Houston.
Yeah.
We talk about Florida.
Yep.
We talk about
Puerto Rico.
The Puerto Rico, the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Yep.
And now Northern California, Charlton.
Yeah.
I understand that the stock market is a precedent for the economy. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's bragging about the stock market instead of worrying about those people that are still in harm's way and living in tragedy, Charlton. The people down in Puerto Rico now are drinking contaminated water.
It's a shame.
Think about how the chemical is going to go and also the health hazards that are being at risk down there.
Yeah.
But he wants to talk about the stock market was it self-sustaining.
Yeah.
Those rich people can care less about the people in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
And I know it's just like saying, well, no athlete cares about the layman person on the street, which is wrong, because they do a lot of charitable work in their communities, Charlton. They just don't seek the publicity.
Yeah.
Just like Colin Kaepernick didn't seek it. But the president is so detached from America, it's ridiculous. It's like him being on the podium yesterday and lying and saying that President Obama never called any families of fallen war, soldiers that lost their lives in battle.
Yeah.
He stood up there and said that to the American public, just brazenly, okay?
Yeah.
And then today he goes on and said that he's contacted every family. After he stated yesterday he had not contacted the families of the latest 4 fallen soldiers in Iraq, Dalton. This man is a persistent liar.
Yeah.
And I hope, as you said, once this bill hits Congress, that Congress will pass this social reform bill, because we need it. We're talking about Americans and equality. You have to do it through Congress by representing equality in America. You can't keep sitting there saying, like I have not recognized oppression in America for over 100 years. I didn't realize he was at a damn
You know what? Another thing really important to me that Roger Goodell just did. You know, there's a difference between a boy and a man. Sometimes a boy can talk big, but a man takes care of responsibility. You know, they pass laws. We talked about the United States is a nation of laws. We have different religions, different ethnic groups, different beliefs, different faiths, and that's great. We're free to do that. But it's about the law. The law stops here. I know a lot of people believe in the Bible. Read the Bible all you want. And you just put your hand on the Bible when you go to court. But a lot of people go to court and lie too. But the law is there to decide what happens in life. And for Roger Goodell, for him to have this seminal moment in life, in his legacy, to stand up to all these knucklehead people, these knucklehead fans that say, well, we don't want to have someone protesting the flag. They're just dumb. I mean, he just told them how dumb they are. It's about when you go up to the court and you stand in front of the judge for a crime, and you can Google this. If you're white and you have this opioid addiction, they want to seek counseling. If you're black and you had addictions that was based on the crack cocaine epidemic back, that was also, a lot of people think that's clandestinely planted by some oligarchy. But the black kids were sent to prison in waves. And even Bill Clinton signed the prison bill, which was a shame. He later apologized for it, but he never spent time in prison for it. Neither did his children. But a lot of black families, they did. And all it's doing is saying, we want less time, we want minimum sentences for non-offensive crimes. If you do heinous crimes, of course you're going to do time. But the days should be over when black and white kids stand in front of a judge and their sentences are carried out differently. Big C, even a dumb knucklehead can understand that. Your thoughts?
We're talking as simple as the opiate crisis in America, okay? This is a bill that was passed by Congress to create this for the drug companies.
Yeah.
Okay? But why is opiates an epidemic and they need to seek help?
Because they're white kids. Because they're white kids.
Marijuana wasn't an epidemic.
Yeah.
It was like, let's imprison them, okay?
Yeah.
Crack was an epidemic. But they didn't seek medical help or psychological help for those people that were addicted to crack. But opiate has been a Caucasian-laden industry, okay?
Yeah.
From the distributor to the consumer, okay?
Yeah.
So now it's a medical crisis in America. I mean, it's on the national news every night, the opiate crisis in America.
Yeah.
But we don't hear about a marijuana crisis. We don't hear about a crack crisis.
Nope.
Other than seeing them
Lock them up.
the street, handcuffed, chopping
Yeah.
with guns and dogs and bait on them, okay?
Yeah.
This is how we treated the minorities when they had a medical crisis.
Yeah,
It was a drug crisis.
Yeah.
But when it comes to white America, it's a medical crisis.
And
and that's how things are when we look at this stance, looking for social reform in America.
Yeah.
Justice reform in America.
Yeah.
It's a minority crisis, Charleston. All they're asking for is reform.
Yeah.
They're not asking for you to get rid of laws. They're asking you to level the playing field.
That's amazing.
All they're asking to do.
Yeah.
Treat all Americans like citizens, not second class as they've been done throughout the decades.
Well, you know, Big C, it goes back to Lyndon Baines Johnson, and people say, well, what's Lyndon Baines Johnson got to do with the sports show? I'll tell you what it has. He passed the voting rights bill. He made it possible for every African-American to vote. You know, John F. Kennedy didn't do it. People canonized him as a saint. He couldn't care less if black Americans could vote. He said, well, it's too soon. Lyndon Baines Johnson, he manned up. Roger Goodell just manned up because, again, it says to every NFL owner, all the knuckleheads, the sycophants, the clandestine guys that actually they believe in racism and discrimination, they took a knee because they wanted to be seen. When someone tried to come after their money, that's President Trump. When they came after their money, they said, well, let's take a knee with our players. But they still wouldn't hire a black man, which goes way back to Curt Flood. But again, about Roger Goodell, I've always said there aren't too many brave white men left since John Wayne passed away. And he was a USC Trojan, by the way, Big C, just so you know. The late actor John Wayne, the Duke, he had balls, he had stones. And he did what was right. He wasn't like a knucklehead Mike Ditka. I mean, shame on guys like him. At the same time, when you have white men, let's just be honest, they run corporate America. We know we need opportunities for everybody. But since the inception of this country, they use free labor to build up wealth and power. We know that. And that's part of the criminal justice system to incarcerate black men to get the free labor because prisons are privatized. You can Google that whether you listen to sports or not. For you dumb people, that's that blue little Google on your phone. Google it. It's called criminal justice reform. Big C, one more time, I want to just get your thoughts. What is Goodell doing saying this? What's he saying to the NFL owners, Big C? Your thoughts? Yeah.
You can buy all the black players in the NFL, Charleston, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But you have to replace them with black players because the positions that they play and they dominate,
yeah.
It's a reason for that, okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right? I'm not saying that the white players are less talented because they're qualified to be in the NFL.
Yeah.
But we don't
Yeah.
The wide receiver, running back, defensive back,
Yeah. Yeah.
We have that, okay? And there's a reason for that, the athleticism and the intelligence of these players, Charles.
Yeah.
So when you want to have a person that's sitting there that knows nothing about sports, sitting there saying fire these people
Yeah.
because they want to make a social and political stance, and the only thing you see is that they're disrespecting the flag, which is not what they're doing.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Donald Trump disrespected the flag as much as anybody in America, okay?
Oh, yeah.
When you run 5 to 6 times with the permits from the Vietnam draft,
Yep.
that's disrespecting the flag and running away from your political and your military responsibility.
Yeah.
Just like he has lied about calling these families, giving condolences, Charlton. He doesn't have time for them because there's no money in his pocket by doing that.
Yeah.
He's more concerned about taking care of his buddies, just like today.
Yeah.
When he trades Wall Street has always been self-sufficient in
Yeah.
America, Charlton.
Yeah.
He has done what Wall Street does, okay?
Yeah.
Yes is up over 23,000 a day.
Yeah.
But there's also wildfires still burning in California.
Yep.
There are people, only 17% of Puerto Rico still has power.
Yeah.
So you have, 83% of the people on that island without power, Charlton?
Yeah.
80% of the people on that island without clean drinking water, Charlton?
Yeah.
He's not concerned about that because that costs money. It doesn't make money.
Yeah.
So he is not going to make money for his friends by worrying about Puerto Rico, Houston, Florida, or even the Virgin Islands, Charlton.
Yeah.
He wants to speak up on the stock market like he's making the stock market great. Well, he might want to talk about these natural disasters, Charlton, because they've all come under his watch.
Yeah.
So he's responsible for those also.
That's a very good point. I do want to bring up one more point. I've always respected Senator John McCain as someone who has, he has, like Scarface says, he has balls, Big C. This would be for the vernacular of it. He manned up. And he manned up with the health care bill. He also had a speech that everyone who respects power, they should look up the speech that John McCain had just recently. I think it was in Philadelphia.
Last night in Philadelphia.
Yeah, last night. It was so powerful because I've known too many white guys that were just cowards. They wouldn't stand up for anything because they benefited from discrimination. Here's a man that told a white woman in the audience, what he said, Barack Obama was a Muslim, and not that there's anything wrong with it, but Donald Trump made it a demon word, right? And he said, no, he's a good man, he's a good family man. We just happen to disagree. That's what manning up means. He wasn't like a dumbing down to the dumbest people who could find to vote for him like Donald Trump does. But when he told the world, America wants to leave a legacy, and he's tired and disappointed with what we have in the White House. That's a white man saying it against another white man who he knows is a knucklehead, okay? That's John McCain. I'm so appreciative of John McCain for doing that because it tells other white men, stop being afraid. It's okay to be a Lyndon Baines Johnson. Don't be a JFK and get patted on the back for doing nothing. Big C, just your thoughts on John McCain. He's a big sports guy. He loves the sports teams down in Arizona. He has his own health issues, but that man's working 24 hours a day. I don't know how he does it, but I'm so proud of his character, Big C. Your thoughts?
Well, he's a true American, staple, Charles.
Yeah.
He's what more Americans need to look at and want to emulate, especially in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
His health issues really let him know why Americans need to have health insurance.
Yep.
He voted against repealing the Affordable Care Act.
Yeah, that's true.
All athletes have the greatest health insurance, just like all politicians have the greatest health insurance.
Yeah.
Think about an athlete, Charlton, without health insurance. Think about Aaron Rodgers, who was just hurt this past weekend against the Minnesota Vikings and breaking his collarbone, is going to have surgery after tomorrow.
I hope he doesn't have Donald Trump's plan, Big C. Yeah.
The MRI, Charlton.
Yep.
Find out exactly what the problem is.
Yeah.
Get surgery set up. There's no waiting line for Aaron Rodgers.
No.
Okay? They just wanted the swelling to go down a little bit.
Yeah.
Then they were going to take care of the surgery. Think about the layman American, Charlton, that can't afford health insurance.
Yep.
His kid breaks his collarbone.
Yeah.
What type of shape are they in? Can they go in and get surgery? No, Charlton. They're just going to try to stand and hopefully then heal.
Yeah.
They're not going to get the intense medical look at that an Aaron Rodgers. Think about an NFL player who blows out his knee, Charlton.
Yeah.
I had knee surgery, but he's going to get the utmost of medical care. I injured a knee one night, flew in back home that night, Charlton, after
Yeah.
the game.
Yeah.
That next morning, that night, I was taken to the hospital. I didn't go home. I went from the airport to the hospital.
Yeah.
It's because we had the medical coverage.
You had coverage. That's a good point.
Athletes have and politicians have above the layman citizen, Charlton. This is why the Affordable Care Act is so important.
Yeah.
Donald Trump realized how easy it was to signing this executive
Yeah, but everybody gets a Rolls Royce, right?
They will not be able to get it with pre-existing conditions.
I know, but see people, yeah, Big C, that's a good point. But people are ignorant. There's some people who are so dumb, they'll vote against their own health care of their own children because they're dumb. And they don't want anything that a black man signed on. That's the problem. It's not because they don't think it's good enough to have health care. Like an automotive company, you look to improve your vehicles. You look to improve their safety mechanisms. You look to improve it. You don't tear it up and start walking all over again like the caveman. I want to hit on one more thing before we get on to a few things in the sports world. John McCain, so proud of you. Doesn't matter what color you are. Character is character, and that man definitely has it. I saw Steve Bannon, and I saw, Donald Trump saying about Mitch McConnell was one of his good friends when he thinks he's stupid, number one. And then Steve Bannon, Donald Trump's friend, is saying Mitch McConnell's the enemy. And Mitch McConnell's so stupid, he stands there like a person who doesn't know if he has a job because he's kissing up to Donald Trump, a guy that doesn't even like him. That's no character. So anyway, it doesn't matter what you think. Everybody's going to do what they want to do. I do want to say sports is $1 billion industry, and boys and girls sports is the foundation to this $1 billion industry. For every sporting event, you need athletic and event insurance. We work with Ben and Mark. They've been around half a century. They work with Big C Sports for pro teams, your college teams, even your high school teams, and your mom and pop soccer leagues. When you reach out to them, let them know that Big C sent you. Big C, I was thinking about the things that you talked about in the college football. And these top running backs that are up for the Heisman Trophy, even though when the season started, they wanted to make it all about the quarterbacks, as we have airplanes flying over the golf course here in Northern California, trying to put out fires in Northern California. Big C, this kid down at Stanford on the farm, I know McCaffrey was there last year. He set records in the Pac-12, did not get the Heisman Trophy. This kid, Love, might even break his records. Big C, your thoughts? Yeah.
This is maybe the top player in the country.
Yep.
But he's playing on a team with 2 losses. So people think that he's insignificant. Okay?
Yeah.
The Heisman Trophy was laid out to be the best player in the country, Jonathan. That's what it's about. It's not the best team or anything about that. It's about the best player in the country.
Yeah.
And when you think about this, you have 2 players that are dominating in what they do.
Yep.
Jalen Hurts, second-year quarterback at Alabama.
Yeah.
Okay, Jonathan, this kid has 1 loss in his college career.
Yeah.
1 loss, okay?
Yep.
He led a team last year to the national championship game, ranked number 1 in the country, lost on the last play of the game.
Yeah.
Last play of the game.
Yep.
His entire career, he has led a team that has led basically every contest, Jonathan.
Yeah.
And then he comes back this year, and he's even better than what he was last year, Jonathan, after, playing behind all that pressure that he's been behind.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
His team is undefeated, Jonathan.
Yep.
Averaging over 40 points a game. Number 1 team in the country.
Yeah.
Is he in the Heisman talk about being one of the top quarterbacks, Jonathan?
No.
You go up and down the ledger of all the quarterbacks that they've talked about being Heisman candidates.
Yeah.
They all have a loss shackle to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this young man, all he's done is won in a year and a half at Alabama. I think he's played now maybe 20 college games, Jonathan.
Yeah.
And he's 19-1.
Yep.
In 20 college games, and then 1 loss came on the last play of the game in a national championship game.
Yeah.
Not like he's been blown out or really been challenged, Jonathan. He's gone out there since the second half of his freshman first game, Jonathan, down in Dallas last year.
Yeah.
And just dominated. And when, everybody said, what would Stanford do when McCaffrey left?
Yeah.
They saw shades of Devon Love last year, Jonathan.
Yeah.
When McCaffrey was moved to slot. Okay, this kid is first on the team to move up the place in the Pac-12.
Yeah.
And now when you look at him, he's averaging some 11 yards a carry, Jonathan, just unheard of territory. Not like, when you look at his statistics, you would think that he's carrying the ball 40 times a game.
No, he's not. He's not.
And he's not. He's not carrying the ball 40 times. Give him the ball 40 times and see if he can get 400 yards.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
But right now, when you look at the national media, they don't cover Stanford because they play the late games. They probably come on at midnight on the East Coast.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
So all those guys, they're on their second 6-pack and passing out.
Yeah.
So what Love is doing.
Yeah.
It's a man of what he's been doing. And also, when you want to rob the kid at Alabama.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
This is what's wrong with sports, Charles, because there's favoritism in the world
Yeah.
of who we want to have.
Yeah.
Like I said, of who
Yeah.
knowing that it's a bald-faced lie by the broadcast companies.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about it. It's almost as bad as the fumble with the Jets game, okay?
Yeah.
Knowing that the receiver
Yeah.
scored a touchdown.
Yeah.
But we don't want you to believe that. We want to lie to you and tell you that the Patriots won the game.
It's like the Tuck rule against Oakland. Yeah.
These kids, Charlton.
Yeah.
When you look at Hurd out of Alabama and Love out of Stanford.
Yeah.
That's two players in the country, but everybody else is better than them because they're not them.
Yeah, that's a good point, Big C. You know, it's always about what you believe. If you believe, like Richard Pryor said, honey, you're going to believe me, or you're going to believe your lion eyes. And, you know, baseball, when you talk about the eye and how critical it is, the eye, you know, the home plate umpire, he has so much power in his hand to determine who's going to call a strike against or a ball against. Sometimes he's calling the balls, you know, wide and outside as a strike, you know, sometimes low and inside as a strike, sometimes up a little bit high around the waist as a strike, sometimes just above the knees as a strike or a ball. So they have so much power. And we don't, you know, they put that little box up there so you can see on TV where the ball went electronically. But the umpire does not have an electronic eye. Big C, talk about how that might play into some of the baseball games when the Yankees are having a good role, especially when they get back home. They're really dominant at home. Your thoughts, Big C?
Right now, the Houston Astros are probably up on the Yankees tonight. I mean, they got the best team in the American League.
Yeah.
The Yankees don't have those long ball hitters in the short porches in Yankee Stadium that can get you back into a game.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah, the big man with Aaron Judge, he'll probably take one out tonight because, you know, he's starting to find his groove again.
Yeah.
But you got Altuve leading the Astros, Charlton.
He's amazing.
And that pitching staff is just solid with the Astros.
Yeah.
I know Sebastian came in and you know, got one for the Yankees.
Yeah.
You know, solid 6.5 inning outing the other night, Charlton.
Yeah.
And that's what you expect from your big guns with that veteran leadership.
Yeah.
But the Houston Astros are a team of destiny, Charlton, and not just because of the tragedy in the city. You know, we saw that several years ago.
Yeah.
The New Orleans Saints after Hurricane
Katrina, yeah. 12 years ago.
Went on to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
With all that fanfare, and I feel that same mojo going on down in Houston, Charlton, with the Astros this year. Okay, they got an upstart quarterback down there, Deshaun Watson, with the Texans. But the big story in Texas this year are the Houston Astros.
Yeah, no, they are, Big C. They are really amazing when you look at what's happened to that region. A lot of people can get behind them. I know there's a lot of hope this year for the Houston Rockets to have a good, you know, basketball NBA season. And, of course, the Texans are playing good football as well, too. So a lot of good things going on in the world of sports. Big C, you know, just like you so many times, I just want to go back in the day before we close out today because I'm proud of Roger Goodell. I mean, nobody's perfect. I get admonished. Everybody gets admonished. If people care about you, they'll tell you right or wrong if they believe what you're doing is right or not. I believe what Roger Goodell has done. I mean, maybe for selfish reasons, because if you don't appease 70% of your workforce, that's the black American athlete. If they had a consciousness like Ali and decide, you know what, the hell with this, I'm going to sit out, I got enough money, it would cripple the NFL, no matter what Donald Trump says or any of these sycophants owners. But for one white man in a world where he makes $44 million a year to stand up for black people, to me that touches me more than just saying, hey, good job making the right choice, because he's one of 32 owners. He's the owner because he's works for all of them. But the guys who pay his paycheck, all of them have no class, no character, no stones, because they're all cowards. And they remind me of the guys that beat John Lewis over the head during the Eben Pettis Bridge. They remind me of the guys that Bill Russell, 11-time NBA champion with the Boston Celtics, when he spoke about racism and discrimination and injustice, he was never afraid to say something. I've always known white men being afraid because they always benefited from it. Roger Goodell, to me, he climbed another ladder of respect around the world. I'm not going to say like a Gandhi. I'm not going to say like a Dr. King. But for a man that was afraid to say anything because he never wanted to offend the white owners, I'm proud of him for having some stones and being a man of character. And I'll close with this and I'll let you finish up. I look at the 1968 Olympics. You talked about UCLA's Abdul-Jabbar. He was part of a wave of campus activism, doing which athletes, they had a lot of power and influence, just like Kaepernick. And they demanded equitable treatment, not just for themselves, but for all black students, Big C. A lot like what Kaepernick is doing as airplanes are flying over to put out fires in California. Roger Goodell, he may have been about 30 years late, but now he's acting more like Muhammad Ali, more like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and more like Bill Russell because he's starting to do what's right. Big C, give me your thoughts on what that means to you as a man. You've been around, you've seen so much, Big C, your thoughts.
Well, I'll go back to Lou Alcindor, the previous Kareem Abdul-Jabbar Charlton. In 68, he declined an invitation to represent America in the Olympics in 68 in Mexico City.
Yeah.
He was a social activist at that time. He was more concerned about what goes on here in America than what it was about going to win a gold medal.
Yep.
He was the greatest player in America at the time, Charlton, and
Yeah.
throughout his entire career.
Yeah.
But the social reform was more important to him in America because of what it had done to his friend Ali.
Yep.
And many other African Americans during that time, the Black Panther movement, Charlton. And we saw what happened to Lee Evans and Tommy Hines when they gave the Black Power sign for solidarity of African Americans, Charlton, at the Olympics.
Yeah.
Every white American still offended, Charlton, because blacks are asking for equality, whether in social life or whether in sports. They have to find an alternative to deflect it to saying that it's against something else.
Yeah.
Instead of addressing the issue, just like with Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah.
This is about social reform, social injustice.
Yep.
The only way that white media could address it, well, it's against the flag. It's against the soldiers. No, it's not.
And that was a lie.
Because the Americans, think about it. Last time you watched a football, not a football game, a basketball game, Charlton.
Yeah.
Or even a baseball. Think about a baseball game. When was the last time the guys came out of the dugout for the national anthem at a baseball game? Okay.
Yeah.
You're watching the World Series.
Yep.
The players are not coming out of the dugout, Charlton, for the national anthem.
Yep.
They're not sitting on the bench. They're spitting out sunflower seeds and tobacco.
Yep.
No one is saying anything.
No.
Because Major League Baseball is 80% white.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No one says that they're disrespecting the flag. This is America's pastime.
Yeah.
No one is saying that baseball is disrespecting the flag, Charlton. Hockey. Go to a hockey arena. See what the hockey players are doing the national anthem. They're
Yeah.
not out on the ice.
Yeah.
This is a 99% white league, Charlton.
Yeah.
No one is saying that they're disrespecting the flag. Why is it only the African Americans that are disrespecting the flag? Think about that.
Yeah.
This has become a racial divide from the media.
Yep.
Making that statement. I have not heard one person in the media saying that the hockey players are disrespecting the flag, sitting over there on the bench while they're playing the national anthem. I haven't heard that baseball players forever, throughout the history of baseball, the only time they stand for the national anthem, Charlton, is during the World Series when they announce the teams.
Yeah.
For their first game starting lineup, and they all line the baseline.
Yeah. Yeah.
For 180 games, Charlton, they're sitting on their butts collecting splinters.
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
Now we got the African Americans saying we want to make a social change in America. Oh, you black people are always saying something's wrong. Okay?
Yeah.
It's always you guys. Always you guys.
Are you saying that?
It's always us getting shot in the street, Charlton.
Yeah. And
Okay?
and it would have to be, you'd have to be the dumbest person on earth to think that the criminal justice system is fair when it comes to black and white. You know that there's racial profiling, and even the police officers know that garbage. There's a lot of good officers, but there's a couple of bad ones. And the good ones, when they say nothing, they're just as part of it. It's called being culpable. Okay, we all know that. The question is, do we want a better America for everybody, for women, for people of color, for white Americans, black Americans, Asian and Native Americans? We want it fair for everybody, and it takes place in the courts. It doesn't take place on the football fields. But just like Bill Russell lamented, Colin Kaepernick is a brilliant man because he's doing things to help everybody's children, black and white. Big C, back in the day, there was a man by the name of Drew Bandini Brown. He was Muhammad Ali's right-hand man. He would always tell Ali, with all you got to use, how can you lose? Rumble, young man, rumble. Big C, what are you looking forward to in the sports universe?
What I'm looking forward to is that the NFL players continue the stance that they have taken and not back down. Even with this letter that has been drafted for Congress by Baldwin and Goodell, continue your fight, continue your stance that you don't back down from what was started by Colin Kaepernick. Let America know that African Americans are serious about justice reform from the athletic realm to the private realm. And let's come together as Americans on and off these sporting arenas, Charlton, and have common ground.
Big C, say it very well, as you always do, and you can always find common ground every Monday through Friday at 5 and 6 p.m. worldwide on the Big C Sports Network, on the #1 network in the United States of America. And Big C Sports has been voted the #1 sports show in the universe, according to Big C and them good old boys down south. We always want to tell you there's never, ever any excuse for domestic violence. There's never any reason for sexual assault. that no matter who you are, there's never any reason for that garbage, whether you're the president or whether you're Weinstein or anybody else that gets away with that garbage. If it happens to you, please call 911 because we can help keep our women safe by doing that. As we always tell you on every Big C Sports show, we thank you, we appreciate you, and we hope that you have a super fantastic day.